In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to configure an IPsec VPN tunnel between two routers. And this is actually a new topic on the new CCNA exam, so it's a good thing to know this. So what I've got is I've got a host here, and it's connected to a switch. And I could have multiple hosts, but I've just decided to select one host here, give it an IP address of 192.168.1.1, so it's in the one subnet. And I've got a router here, and it's actually using 172.16.2.1, so it's in that 172.16.2 subnet. And there's the peering router. It's assigned 2.2. And then I've got another one over here, server one, and that's actually using 172.16.3.1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an IPsec VPN tunnel between these two routers, router 1 and router 2, and then test to make sure that when host 1 sends packets to server 1, that it's actually encrypting the packets. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start with router 1. And go to the command line interface. And so I'm starting router 1. I'm ready to start configuring. So what I'm going to do, the first thing you have to do is set up what's called an ISACAMP Phase 1 policy. There's Phase 1 and Phase 2. So there's a few commands involved here. So I'm going to set up an ISACAMP policy, and what it does is it describes your encryption method you're going to use, and the hash method. This is going to be MD5, and the type of authentication, pre-share, and assign it a group and a lifetime timer. So I'm going to start with crypto. I'm going to just start going through and assigning these things. So this is a global command. So what I'll do is I'll go over here and start with encryption, and triple des is what I'm going to use. That's kind of standard. There's a variety, there's some new ones available. MD5 is the hash. So hash MD5. And authentication, I'm going to use pre-share. And group 2. And then a timer. And this is just a timer for the keys. Lifetime 86400. And I'm going to exit out of there to get back to global mode. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to define a pre-shared key, and the peer that the pre-shared key will be shared with now will be to router 2. So this is for authentication, and the key is going to be CiscoNet. That's going to be actually the string. So here I'll just paste this in. So it's going to be the key, that's the key, CiscoNet, that's the string, and the peer is router 2. Next thing I will do is configure the IPsec portion. And first thing I want to do is define an ACL. This is called defining interesting traffic. So what it means is whenever it's saying this is the what I want encrypted. So I want to encrypt any packets from the 192.168.1 subnet to the server that's the server subnet that's on 172.16.3. So all packets to any servers on that 3.0 subnet, but there's only one currently for this example. So I'm going to define an access list. This is a named list. Extended VPN tunnel. So what I'll do is I'll just paste that in there, just like that. I'm calling it VPN tunnel. And just a permit statement. Okay, and that's really all there is to it. So that's the ACL. So permit every traffic from the 1 subnet to the 3 subnet. Basically encrypt it. That's what it's going to look to encrypt. Okay, so to this part, then I want to create the IPsec transform, and that's a transform set. So this is the security parameters. So it's an IP. It's actually, I'm at IPsec now, so I'm telling IPsec this is what you're going to use for security parameters. You can see that there's triple DES and MD5. Okay, so what I'll do is go back here, and it's a global command. So I'll just paste it in there. That's all there's to it, really. Now I'm going to crypto map CiscoNet. That's what I've created. I'm going to bind it to ISACAMP and IPsec policies. So up here, there's my policy there. So I'm going to start with just copying this over. And it's actually a crypto map. I called it CiscoNet. I probably should have called it something else, not to be confused with the key. So don't be confused by that. It's just a name for it. So that's there, and now I'm going to give it some settings for the crypto map. And I'm saying the peer is router 2. So I'm going to go over here and just paste this in. So there's router 2 is the peer. So I've set the peer statement. And then the next one would just be set transform. And that's CCNA is just the name of the transform set. And then match address VPN tunnel. So I'm saying match all traffic on that VPN tunnel. Okay, so I'm doing a match there. And then I'm going to exit out of here. That's a transform set. Now I'm going to apply the crypto map to the public interface. So this is where I apply it and make it active. So I'm going to do on 01. So the interface 01, that's that WAN interface on router 1. So what I'm going to do is just go interface FA01, and then to apply it, I just do crypto map CiscoNet. And that's all there is to it. And that's it. And then I'll go to router 2 and do the same thing. So I'll go to router 2 now. And I'll start configuring it. Same commands, some differences because the pairing is a little different. So in this example here, I've got the crypto map. Same thing. I'm using the same policy commands. They have to match between the routers. So I'm the same encryption, hash, authentication, everything. So it's all going to match. So I'll go right here and I'll just paste this in. Then go encryption, triple DES, and then hash, MD5, and authentication is going to be pre-share. And then group 2, and lifetime 86400. And that's all there is to that. Now I'm going to use a pre-shared key. Get the same name, has to match. Use CiscoNet as the string. And this is and the pairing is to router 1. That's 2.1. Okay. And the next thing is the ACL. So it's the same name on this device. I can use the same. It's fine to do that. I'm going to call it VPN tunnel. And I'm going to use a permit statement. So this is permit everything from the server subnet to the host subnet. So anything that, so that's the return traffic from the server that's going to get encrypted. And that's what that does. I'll exit, go up one level. Then I want to start working on the IPsec transform set. So the transform set is going to be the same thing. I've named it CCNA, the same as the other one. And I've got the same matching security parameters. And just add that to it. And then I want to create a crypto map called CiscoNet, and it's different from the string. I should have named it something else to not be confusing. That's what it is, just a name for a crypto map, and bind it to the security policies I've previously created. It's here. So there it is there. And that's done. Then I want to set the peer statement in transform set. So the peer is router 1. And set transform set, name of the transform set should match is CCNA. And that's done. Then just I'm going to match on traffic from the VPN tunnel. That's the IP access list. So just do a match on that for interesting traffic to encrypt. And there it is there. And that's pretty much what it is. Now I need to apply it to 01. So that's the WAN interface on router 2. So that's going to be just interface FA01. So we'll go back to the topology here. So I'm applying the applying it right here on 01. So that's the crypto map, just crypto map CiscoNet. So crypto map CiscoNet, I'm just applying it. Similar to an ACL, you need to apply something to it. This is actually the crypto map though. That makes it active. And that's then I just need to start doing some pings and then verify that there's traffic that's being encrypted. So that's router 2. So at this point, there's the IPsec VPN tunnel. I'm going to ping the router here. So at this point, I just want to make sure it pings okay. And it takes a little while to converge. There it is now. It's getting all replies, all 4, to 172.16.3.1. That's the server. So now, is it encrypting? That's the question. So to do that, you want to run some commands. The first one you want to do is show crypto isocamp SA. That's going to give you information on the tunnel itself. So just go back to router 1 and just go show crypto map. Actually show crypto isocamp, I should say. SA, security associations. And in this case, what I've got here, so it shows as active. So that's what you want to see. There's the peer. The source is 2.1, that's router 1. The destination is 2.2, that's router 2. And it's showing as active. So that's correct. Now show crypto IPsec. This is where the encryption is. It's IPsec encryption, so I want to verify that. Make sure packets are being encrypted. So I'm going to go show crypto IPsec SA. There's a lot of information here, but there's just some things you want to take a look at. So the crypto map is called CiscoNet. There's the local address 2.1, that's router 1. and it shows the host address and the server address, and the peering is router 2, that's 22, and packets in count 6, so packets encrypted 6, there it is there, 6, and decrypted is 5, so it is encrypting and decrypting packets. And so that's what you want to verify, that it is working correctly. And that pretty much verifies it. So I'll go to router 2 as well, and I can run the same command. So I'll do show ISACamp. So ISACamp, what is that command? So crypto ISACamp SA. So same thing. Let's start with crypto. ISACamp SA. Shows as active and idle, so that's fine. And then the other statement is, now this is the IPsec for, so you can see packets are being encrypted and decrypted there. Same thing. It gives you the same information on router 2 and verifies that it is encrypting packets. So that verifies that IPsec is working okay. And that concludes IPsec VPN.